What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Raw review, this time from August 22nd, 1994. So let's get right into it. As always, unless you want to sponsor me, let me know. I got you. But if not, we're just going to get right into it like always. Raw this week starts off from a studio. Randy Savage and Vince McMahon talk about the card from SummerSlam and give some predictions. Then they throw to the venue with Jim Ross and Gorilla Monsoon on commentary. The first match is Crush versus Lex Luger. A match I get to skip because Luger is on my skip list. Another superstar is going to get added next week, so tune in for that. The skip list, again, is a list I'm going to have, and if someone is on it, I get to skip any match they are part of. Jobber match or main event, doesn't really matter. Getting to the end, Ted DiBiase made his way down to ringside, and with Crush distracted, Luger hits the forearm and picks up the win. So the seeds continue to be planted as to whether or not Luger is part of the $1 million stable. They throw back to Macho Man and Vince, and Savage says that he does think that Luger has sold out. Randy receives a letter and reads out that it is confirmed that Lex Luger will sell out at SummerSlam. Macho Man says that he's disappointed at Lex, even though, again, there's still no sign whether he's done it or not. And that letter that I said that Randy received, it was just put there for the show, for Macho Man to get upset. It wasn't really a real letter or anything like that, obviously. They throw to a recap of the Owen and Bret feud starting from the Royal Rumble. So this is basically a pre-show that you will play right before SummerSlam if it was happening today, but it's on Raw. Next week on Monday, instead of Raw, SummerSlam is actually taking place. We also see a promo from a Superstars taping where Owen is inside a cage and vows to win the WWF title. We also get footage of a promo from Bret Hart. We learn that the entire Hart family will be at ringside. Actually, I thought we already learned about that. I have that in my notes right here that this is when we learned about the entire Hart family being at ringside, but I thought this was already mentioned. That's why the cage match was made. But anyways, Bret calls Neidhart stupid and that Owen Hart will cry a river when he loses to the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I could have shortened that catchphrase, but these guys don't cut promos every week, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to say that again. One of the best catchphrases in professional wrestling. Next up, we get a preview of the Undertaker storyline and the Leslie Nielsen mystery case. In the vignette, an Undertaker lookalike and Shadow delivers a Domino's pizza. I never knew they broke kayfabe with Taker as much as they did. That one time with the fan access, I want to say it was at WrestleMania 10, and also in the Don't Smoke commercial campaign that they had. Now Undertaker's delivering a pizza. I mean, I always thought that Taker pre like the Attitude Era was just kept on the show and didn't really make any other appearances outside of wrestling during this time, but it turns out I was wrong. Anyways, up next we get a Typhoon versus Diesel match. I thought I was going to get a chance to watch a show without having to sit through a match, but nope. The good thing is that it was quick. Typhoon had some offense, but all it takes is a clothesline from Diesel to pick up the win. He's taking on Racer for the IC title, and speaking of, we get another video promo this week from Racer and Walter Payton, who's going to be in his corner to make sure that Shawn Michaels doesn't interfere, meaning that HBK will 100% interfere in the match. Next up, a recap from last week's Raw where Paul Bearer was on King's Court, and then another Leslie Nielsen vignette. It was the same one we saw last week at the pool, so not really much to cover there. McMahon lets us know that because of SummerSlam and the US Open, Raw will not air for the next 2 weeks, and that's how the show ends. This episode could have been a good Raw if the promos we saw were actually part of Raw and not from other shows, like the one from Owen Hart in the cage. The two matches were filler, but it would have been fine if it were a regular episode. Because it was from a studio set, I'm going to have to say this was a bad go home show and add a tally to the bad episodes for 1994. The Raw shows so far this year have been worse than last year if we go by the tally board, but the pay per views have all been decent. I know that Owen and Bret have a universally liked cage match at SummerSlam, but I've never watched it with context or any of the matches for that matter at SummerSlam. So when I watch it this time, I'll probably think it was another great pay per view. The only thing I do have a question about is where are the tag team champions? I thought the Quebecers losing would have made the division better, but it's really been non existent since the Head Shrinkers won the belts. But, anyways, I'll catch you guys after I watch SummerSlam. Again, no review for it, but I'll let you guys know what I enjoyed and what I didn't on the next Raw review episode. But until then, I'm out.